Hi, I'm Drew Larson, the founding co-owner of Leader's Beverage. Today's short video, I'm going to show you how to clean, disassemble, and reassemble the standard American sand key coupler. Okay, so first thing first is safety. We want to put on safety gloves and safety eyewear, because if we're using any kind of cleaning, caustic solution or otherwise, we want to protect ourselves. Every 2 weeks, we're just going to give this a brush cleaning. It can even stay on the system, but what I do like to do is I like to use this product called Star Sand. It's a food grade, totally safe to people, acid-based cleaner. I make up a bucket. Half an ounce is good for 2.5 gallons of water. And then as I'm cleaning, I dunk this down into this solution, and then I do my brush cleaning. And what that does is it helps sanitize the exterior of the coupler. And by doing so, we get rid of all that bacteria. So why would you go to all the trouble of cleaning your draft system and then putting a dirty coupler back at the dinner table or the keg? One other thing I'd like to show you really quick is the difference between an American sand key and a European. This is the American sand key. You can see a short exterior probe, and then the European. Notice the longer piece here. That is a European, and you want to make sure that you're using the right one. In another video, we'll explain this more and show you how to use them on the keg. All right. So let's go ahead and start taking this apart. Here we have the hex nut for the gas line, and then the tailpiece. Now what you're going to see here is this tailpiece is just a little bit different than your regular flat tailpiece. And the reason it has that barb on the end is because it sits inside of the Thomas valve. And I'll show you that. We'll take that right out. So it sits inside this Thomas valve. What this does is it allows air or gas to go through and down into the keg, but doesn't allow beer back up. Because if beer comes back up into that gas line, you're going to get bacteria growth, and we don't clean those. You have to replace that line. So we want to make sure absolutely that Thomas valve is there. There's different kinds. If it doesn't look like this, you'll also find it called a check valve, as a Thomas valve is an old proprietary name. All right, we got that taken care of. Let's go ahead and take off. There's a little retention pin there. Put that to the side, and then you have the tap handle. We take that off, and then here you have the probe. And we can take the probe out, and usually you just gotta squeeze it, and it'll come right out. It'll come right out. This is a very new coupler, and so sometimes they're a little bit tighter. We'll get it out. All right, come on now. See, my glove is already ripped. I would go ahead and change that, but for the video, I'm going to keep going. So what you also saw there was me demonstrating that if you don't take that probe seal off first, you won't be able to get the probe out. And that probe seal sits right on top of there. You're always going to want to check every single seal, and this is one of them. Now, this is the probe. There's something in here called a check ball and check ball retainer. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out for you to see. We'll give it a try. So you have the check ball retainer, that little star piece, and the check ball. And what this does is it allows beer to flow upward through the probe, but it doesn't allow beer to flow back down in, because you don't want beer going into the keg. Now, as a troubleshooting, sometimes when these aren't being cleaned right, this check ball retainer here and the check ball itself will get stuck because the beer dries. So what you can do is use something to poke it back up, but it also tells you that you want to finish cleaning it. So we'll clean that. Then also right here you have a safety release valve. You want to make sure that this is in good working order. What this is for, and what you do is you just kind of pull on that a little bit, and you'll see in there a little spring action. And what this is for is a safety release valve. If the pressure builds up too much on the keg, this will release the gas instead of letting anything explode. Then inside you have body O-rings. They're really hard to see here. If these were in bad condition, you can use something like a dental tool to pull them out, re-grease them, put them back in. But those are still seals that you want to check. And then you also have the bottom seal washer or body washer right here. And you want to make sure that's nice and clean also. Now we'll go ahead and put it back together. So we're going to put the probe in, remember, without the probe seal. And then we're going to put the probe seal back on. Sometimes you got to twist it a little bit to get it to sit just right. All right. Then we'll push that back up. You're going to take your handle, and that handle goes back on. You'll notice that the probe has a round side and a flat side. That flat side will have to be the lengthwise so that you can slip your handle over it. The retention pin goes back in there and you'll spin that back on. Then you'll put the Thomas valve and your tailpiece right back on just like that. Reconnect. You could leave this connected to your gas line if you needed to. You can see how much my gloves got tore up just doing this. Sometimes you can wear 2 pairs, but make sure that if your gloves tears, to stop and replace it. Now there are other types of couplers out there. Here's another American sand key coupler. They're all just about the same. So that's this. Now all couplers pretty much come across the same, or come apart the same way. If you have questions about a specific coupler that you have that I didn't do here, go ahead and leave us a message below. Send us a picture of the coupler and we can help you get that. The other thing you're going to want to do is you really want to check for exposed brass. See, that's not nice, clean stainless steel. It really is worth it to spend the extra money on a stainless steel coupler. As the brass starts to become exposed, it creates a churning with the beer, which can ruin the flow of your beer, make it more foamy. It can also expose it to metallic tastes. So that is the cleaning. Every 90 days, we'll take it all the way apart like that. Every 2 weeks, we'll just give it a brush clean. And that is the disassembly of a coupler. So, thank you so much for watching this short video. If you found it useful, please take a moment to hit the like button, share it out on your favorite social network, as that really helps us with search engine optimization, which helps us continue producing content. If you have any questions at all about this, please post them below, or you can get us directly at info@leadersbeverage.com or through our website. Our passion is your next drink. Cheers.